Afternoon, Samantha. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We'll just get going in a minute here.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Josh, thanks for powering through.
Yeah, no problem. How's everyone doing? Everyone's feeling okay?
Yeah.
We have a suspected COVID case in-house.
There's people in the room, people. This, be careful what you're talking
Sorry
about.
about that, Josh. Along with the few students we have and a few more joining, we also have, I think, around 200 votes so far online for the motions, which is great. Opening it up allows it to be accessible to a lot more students who can't make it at a specific time. And so just thank you to everyone who's joining us today, and thank you to everyone who's voted online and over the last few days.
Okay. Bear with.
I'm here. I just need a few minutes to get situated. Sorry.
I'm just finishing getting the broadcast ready.
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just switched to headphones, so wasn't sure if it was working. I'll wait for your go ahead, Charles.
Bear with me 30 more seconds while I just figure out how this works. Technology is great if you know how to use it.
In the meantime, Ferris, do you want to address the question in the comments or in the chat?
There we go. I think I got it now.
You're muted, Charles, Ferris.
Yeah, Samantha, absolutely. At the end, there'll be a chance, not in the official proceedings of voting on the motions, but there'll definitely be a chance to ask questions. And we want to stay on and get more of these questions. As we've been saying to students, we're collecting everything we're getting over the past 24 hours and giving it to the college and requesting some feedback. So absolutely, we really want to hear your question after the official voting on some of the official motions and our presentation from our auditors. Then if you're able to stick around, we'd absolutely love to have that conversation.
I did.
Just send a message, and we already have your email, and we can set up a meeting.
Yeah, and Samantha, I did see you contacted me to my email address. So I had many people reach out in regards to the announcement yesterday from DC. So we're kind of just trying to gather, and that's why we started a poll today on our social media to gather all our information ahead of a meeting with someone at DC so that we can have real student feedback to present to them. So definitely you can start drafting your questions, and then at the end of the official meeting, we can open it for other student questions.
I think we're good to go.
Cool.
I have no clue whether the live stream is working as it should, but we'll.
It's showing on my end that it's being live streamed, so
yeah,
we'll
I just don't know if it's
is
working
true.
properly.
Yeah.
I assume it is, but it could not be, and if not, you'll probably just see a picture of my head like every other attempt I have at live streaming on there.
Okay, so we'll get this meeting started. Annual general meeting. It is Wednesday, January 19th at 4:07 p.m. I will be calling this meeting to order. Are you flipping around? Just
So
keep in one place. Any announcements, Charles, that can be
just
made here?
one. In terms of the voting on the motion, all votes have been deferred to the online system. So this meeting will be structured as if we were voting, but then the actual vote itself would be deferred. If anyone does not have their login credentials for the voting system, please put it in the chat or email me at charles.wilson@durhamcollege.ca, and we'll get you those credentials.
Thank you. Can move on to the next slide.
Just for the record, we have had an hour ago, we have 198 votes.
Perfect, thank you. So we'll start off with the article amendment to the article of incorporation. So a little bit of a background, and I'll be reading this for anyone who's just listening. In the winter of 2021, Durham College Student Incorporated undertook a process to rebrand and rename the association. In spring 2021, the board of directors approved the DCSI name changing to Durham College Student Association and using the new name from September 1st, 2021 and onward. Under the Canada Not-for-Profit Corporations Act, a change in name cannot be approved until the amendment to the Articles of Incorporation is approved at the annual general meeting. This resolution approves the amendment to the Article of Incorporation to change the name. A little further background quickly I'll throw in. When I was running for this position right before the pandemic in person, that was my first term, we had a lot of students reach out saying they don't know what DCSI is because they didn't understand what Durham College Student Incorporated stood for. So that was when we brought up the idea of changing the name to something that more students would be able to understand. So the resolution AGM 2022-01, we have a mover and a seconder already to make this meeting quicker. We have our director Tanisha Jordan and seconded by Director Rebecca Bollier. So the article of the amendment to the Articles of Incorporation be accepted as follows. 1, the name of the corporation is changed from Durham College Students Incorporated to Durham College Student Association in accordance with section 197(1)(a) of the Canada Not-for-Profit Act. Effective upon the date of the article, the article amendment is filed, the corporation accepts all contracts issued under the name Durham College Student Association as binding the corporation from September 1st, 2021 onward. And number 3, all references in bylaw number 1 of the corporation and the policies of the corporation to Durham College Students Inc. or DCSI is changed upon to the effective date of the name change to Durham College Student Association and the DCSA respectively. That is a mouthful.
Really is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the chat for a second open, and if anyone has anything,
you can put your hand up as well.
Yeah, you can also use the little emoticons to raise your hand, or you can drop a question in the comments. I'll wait a few seconds here and let people decide if they have anything they want to ask about the name change before we move on to the next resolution. And again, the official vote is being taken place in a separate software that is counting votes. So if you don't have access to that software, please let us know, and Charles can get you that link. It's until this evening, correct?
Tomorrow at 3.
Till tomorrow. Perfect. So everyone has tomorrow till 3 p.m. to get their votes in on that name change. The name is changing to Durham College Student Association. So the old name, DCSI, or Durham College Students Incorporated, or we shortened it to Inc., is now changing Durham College Students Association. And this was something that we polled all our students on for feedback of what they would like our name to change to, and this name is the one that won by a landslide.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, we'll move on to the next resolution.
We know further that the vote is deferred.
Yeah. Adoption of amendments to bylaw 1. So the background, this resolution approves the amendments to the main operating bylaw for DCSI as outlined in the bylaw amendment report.
What I can do is I can quickly go through the bylaw amendment report, Madam Chair, and this quickly go what this is all about. If there is questions on any specific amendment, I'm just going to pause for like 2 seconds between amendments and just feel free to ask them then. So the first one of the report will be made with the articles of amendment being made, and that is the change of the name throughout the document. The first amendment that the board made that is going for ratification is regarding the hours of the chair. It was deemed that the 20 hours a week was sufficient year round. So this just simply gives some flexibility to the board, and in doing the hours of the chair, that it ends up net to the corporation, but the hours it's just simply that. The next is a housekeeping amendment to the definitions, actually adding the definition of secretary. It's found throughout the bylaws, but it's actually isn't defined as secretary of the board. So it's simply as that. The next is simply adding the managing director after their term expires. So the managing director expires as a director May 1st and expires as their term expires as a managing director on June 1st. So this just simply adds them as a non-voting member of the board during that period. The next is regarding the intervals that the board meets. It had some weird language in there about the summer and giving the board and not having the board meet in June, July, or August. That has not been the practice of the board. And that is simply a housekeeping amendment to effective to bring the existing practice into the bylaws. The next is the role of the chair. There was a little bit of a weird statement that wasn't quite clear in terms of this subsection of the role of the chair. So that role has been better defined. This was just simply a housekeeping amendment in terms of the hours of the managing director. Previously, it said that the managing director ended, even though their term ended April, their term in office ended June 1st. The previous bylaw said that their hours in terms of the commitments of working for us and signing checks and all that ended on April 30th, which basically gave us a month without a managing director actually able to do office. So that just clarifies that. The next is the language regarding the managing director. The managing director can be removed by the board at any time for any reason whatsoever. And this just clarifies that if they are only removed as managing director and not as a director of the corporation. The next is a housekeeping amendment, just explicitly referencing which version of Robert's Rules of Order we're using for committee meetings. The next is the simplifying the standing committee's role. Previously, it was 3 pages long and extremely exhaustive to the point where it was assigned tasks which it was not capable of doing. And this just simplifies it and gets the key points of every single thing. This just simply points that the elections committee's role is defined in the policy. The next has to do with compensation of the CRO. That is just simply bringing the policy, ensuring the bylaws match with the policy and the practices. The next is a substantial amendment to the terms of directors of the corporation. And that is simply that if a director were to miss 3 consecutive board meetings, then they have deemed to be resigned their office. And further, the final substantive amendment brought by the board for ratification is that a director who is not a member of their class that they were elected by would be disqualified. That simply means if a director was elected for, say, the School of MAD, but they entered into a business program, they were elected by the School of MAD, and they would not be eligible to be in the business programs. And there was a number of corrections made to the bylaws to ensure proper spelling, grammar, and flow. So that is the report regarding the bylaws.
Thank you, Charles.
Any questions?
Yeah, If anyone has any questions, please feel free to add it to the chat. In the meantime, I will read out the resolution just to save us some time. So you guys have a couple of seconds if you want to say anything. So resolution AGM 2020, I think that's supposed to say 2022-02.
Yeah, that would be 2022-02, sorry.
Okay, I'll read it as such. Moved by Director Aniri Pandya and seconded by Director Prithvik Jaiswal. And I see he's here today, so welcome, Director.
I did see proof.
Yeah, he's here. That the membership of Durham College Students Incorporated confirms amendments to the bylaw 1 proposed by the Board of Directors as passed by the Board of Directors and outlined in the report regarding bylaw amendments. And then he did just open it in a new window. So if I don't see anything in the chat, I will move forward. Again, this is something that is voted on in our voting software. Please let us know if you don't have access to that. Okay, the next one, approval of the financial statements. So a little bit of a background. The resolution approves the report of the auditors who are joined us today, Laura and Heidi, regarding the 2020-2021 fiscal year for Durham College Students Incorporated.
I'm just making you both co-hosts, so you definitely can share your screen, and I'll get my stuff off the screen and take it over.
Great, thank you very much. So as mentioned, my name is Laura Wilson. I'm a partner with Baker Tilly KDN, and I'm here with Heidi Campbell, and she's a supervisor with Baker Tilly KDN. We were appointed auditors of the Durham College Student Association now at your last AGM. And so what an audit is really just providing some assurance to you, the members, that when you look at the financial statements as they're presented, that you can really rely on those financial statements. They were prepared with a set of generally accepted accounting principles. The audit ensures that, and that just making sure that, you know, those financial statements are, you know, comparable and usable for you. An audit involves us confirming some information with the banks, with the college, just making sure that everything sort of checks out. We test selected transactions back to the source documentation, and we examine supporting documents. We complete any physical inspections and then consider internal controls. Based on that, we believe that our audit evidence that we obtained is really appropriate to provide a basis for our audit opinion, which is a clean audit opinion, so an unqualified audit opinion in auditor jargon. And the financial statements, I'll just show you, I'll just present here. I just did sort of a graph as we have in prior years so that you can sort of see what things look like visually, because I know a lot of people aren't necessarily sort of financial people. So if you have a hard time looking at the financial statements and making sense of it, hopefully this will be a little bit easier for you. So the financial statements present an excess of revenue over expenses of 1.9 million. And that's made up of, this is all of the sources of revenue here. Hopefully you're seeing that on the screen there. And the largest portion of that really is student health fees, which is 3.3 million or 57% of the total. The balance being your student fees, the student membership fees, which are 2.1 million or 36% of the total. So you can see where most of the revenue is coming in. Because of the pandemic, the association also was eligible for some COVID pandemic related government grants, and that's this gray section here, about 7% of the revenue or 400,000. That helped just shore up you know, any potential sort of loss of revenue from the pandemic and not being able to really operate in-person services and events. And then there's a small little yellow sliver, I don't know if you can see that there, a very small amount of kind of interest income on excess cash balances. So that's the revenue side. And then I'll just flip here to the expense side. Are you seeing that there? Give me a nod, I guess, if you're great, okay. So in terms of the expenses, the largest portion, of course, would be the health expenses. So that's sort of the match to the health revenue coming through. And then wages and benefits would be the next largest expense. Very comparable to prior years and with our expectations, so no concerns there. So I'll just stop sharing that for a moment. Okay, great. So I'm going to just share the financial statements just briefly here. I know it's kind of a lot of verbiage, but this is our report. So as mentioned, it's that clean audit opinion, which is described here. I'll let you read the rest at your own leisure, but it does have the responsibilities of management, which are on the call here today, those charged with governance, which are the board members, which are all also on the call here today, and then our auditor's responsibilities. So you can take a look at that. Just wanted to highlight that Durham College, this is the statement of financial position, which at April 30th is really that kind of snapshot of the organization at the year-end date. And you can see here that the organization does have healthy reserves, if you want to call them reserves, the net assets here at 7.2 million in total. And that's at April 30th. 3.9 million of that is unrestricted at this point, can be used for any of the organization's mission and operations. 2.4 million is internally restricted for health related services. 537,000 is restricted for capital purchases, major capital purchases. You can see that some of that money has been spent from last year, and you can read in the notes to the financial statements that that really relates to a purchase from Durham College of the kind of grill concept organization. So as part of the agreement, DCSI will, or DCSA now will be operating those kind of grill restaurant services, Booster Juice. Those things will be coming online. Other than that, there is a small amount that's already invested in capital assets. You can see that there. So that was all I had to present. And if there's any questions at this point, we'd be happy to answer any questions on the financial statements.
Yeah, anyone who's listening, you can frog in my throat. You can answer in the chat or use the Q&A function. Charles, do you want to share your PowerPoint once again, just to know where we're at? And if I'm not mistaken, this is available online and in the voting system as well.
Yes, there is a link in the voting system and it is available on the AGM's website.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Nick. Okay, so resolution AGM 2022-03. We have moved by Director Megan Bent, who is also with us today, seconded by Director Ryan Gentle, that the financial statements for the fiscal year ending April 30th, 2021 be accepted. And again, online voting system is where you guys can cast your vote.
Okay.
I'll take not hearing anything else as we're good to move on to the next one. Okay, appointment of the public. Oh,
just before you go to the next one, I see that it's regards to the auditor, so we will step out at this point unless there's any further questions.
sounds
It was a
good.
pleasure,
Thank
Laura and
you.
Heidi. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, thanks so much, everyone.
Heidi.
Have a great
Thank you
evening.
both.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so our next appointment of the public accountant, a background. This resolution appoints the auditors for the 2020-2021 fiscal year. The firm was chosen for a contract after a competitive RFP process back in 2017.
And that's actually a typo. It would be 2021, 2022. I do apologize for that.
Okay. Want me to
It's
reread with?
It's for this current fiscal year. So
Okay, so this was for this current fiscal year and chosen back then. So we have
Yeah.
resolution AGM 2022, I'm guessing is what meant to be at the top.
yeah, good Lord, that's something. Okay.
2022-04, moved by Director Tanisha Jordan, seconded by Director Megan Bent, that the appointment of Baker Tilly KDN LLP as the public accountant for Durham College Students Incorporated be renewed for the 2021-2022 fiscal year. If anyone has any questions, now's your time to ask them in the chat or in the Q&A function. Again, this is something you can vote on our voting software. Yeah. I'll just give it a couple seconds here before we move on to the next. Okay. Appointment of the director for the School of Science, Engineering, and Technology. We had an opening and we are adding someone new to the team. So moved under the elections policy that I'm apologizing if I pronounce it wrong. This is the first time I'm reading the name, so I will make sure to learn how to pronounce properly when we get to meet. That Burju Kumar Patel be elected to the office of director for Class E of the membership consisting of the School of Science and Engineering Technology. So
And
welcome.
only those within that school would see the motion on the ballot.
Yeah. So if you don't see this bylaws because you are not currently registered under the School of Science and Engineering Technology. Anyone has any questions, please ask. If not, we will move on to the next motion. And again, if you're in set, please vote, get your votes in through our voting software.
And at this point, what we can do is if you want to raise your hand and bring stuff to the discussions, we'll just raise your hand and I'll allow you to talk, or you can chat as well.
And this is questions about anything or just in revolving around what we've presented today?
There is no there is no business explicit here. It is a general discussion. Anything, as long as it's germane to the work of the association, is in order. If someone wants to
Perfect. We will start with the first.
Brittany movement, that's out of order. Make sense?
Okay. We will start with the first question in our Q&A box that has been asked, and it is from Samantha with the new program delivery and how her program has been currently gone online, virtual, when they return from online to in-person come January 31st. As many of you I'm sure have seen, there was an announcement from the college yesterday that they're hoping to get everyone back on campus for specific programs who have been deemed hybrid or in person. So at this time, and this is something we can further connect with Samantha offline, I do have your email like I mentioned, and I will be getting back to you shortly, but at this time, we're collecting as much feedback from students as possible on how they feel about the announcement from the college. We have set a meeting tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, Charles and Ferris, you can shake your heads. Yep. Tomorrow we're meeting with someone at the college. So we are the Student Association. We're like a separate entity to the college. And so we've requested a meeting with someone at the college, the Dean of Students, and we'll be connecting with her to share all the feedback we've been hearing from our social media polls and emails that we've received since the announcement yesterday. It is definitely challenging for many students who, whether they have immunocompromised people at their homes or feel unsafe themselves. Every program is doing something differently also, which is another challenge because every program coordinator kind of does what they are going to be doing differently than another. So not one case is the same for all cases. So we're really going to be bringing everything forward that we can to the Dean of Students tomorrow, specifically with people who are living with immunocompromised and what we can do if there's anything that can be done for these students. So we don't have any answers specifically for you now, but we have heard you and we definitely will be voicing your concerns at our meeting tomorrow. Ferris and Charles, if you guys want to add anything, please jump in.
Yeah, or Samantha, if you want to add anything, just raise your hand and I'll turn on your microphone. Or if anyone else wants to, just raise your hand and I'll turn on your microphone.
Or if you don't know how to do the raise your hand feature, because I know for
Just
myself
chat.
it doesn't always show, you can just write in the chat box.
Pigeon, carrier pigeon, anything works.
Maybe not carrier pigeon. I don't think there's many that can do that nowadays.
Well, I'm inside 2 locked doors, so that would be an issue. Okay. Any further topics of discussion that people want to bring up? Oh, we have a comment.
Great. Thank you, Samantha. We definitely are here to hear our students, even if it's something, you know, they just sometimes just need an ear to someone to listen to, or questions about just how to get involved on campus. We'll listen and hear our students, from concerns to want to come learn more about us, anything really. A lot of students have been affected by this update. And I know from this time last year, we had a similar situation where people were expected to come back and not prepared to come back. So we've kind of gone through a bit of this before, and we definitely don't want people having to delay their education. So please bear with us as we get through the next few days of connecting with the college and trying to get some answers and what we can do for you guys. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for coming. We love to see that students are engaged and attending these meetings. Again, anytime you guys need anything, we have a live chat feature on our website that can connect you with whoever you need, whatever resource, or if you just want to find out how to get more involved, just reach out to us, and we're definitely hoping to get some more student life back. How do I use my mic? Oh, yeah, we can, Charles can turn you on to be able to talk. Just one second.
I completely and totally had, can you hear? You should be able to talk now. You have to unmute.
Hello, I'm sorry, I was having some technical difficulties.
It happens.
So you said before that previously there was a situation similar to the one right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so last year we had a different program, someone from a different program reach out saying, you know, I can't really get this going and stuff. This student ended up choosing to leave the school, which is their choice, but they, you know, we did what we could, and that's what this year's different. Obviously, we have a different variant, we have a different case going on. We're actually expected to come back on campus for a lot of programs, a lot more than this time last year. So that's, I guess, why we're hearing more from students now that more people are expected to be on campus. And we, like I said, we didn't hear this directly from the school. We saw it on social media the way everyone else saw it. So we definitely are eager to meet with them tomorrow and chat.
Okay, is there a way for us students to be able to join the meeting as well, or is it something that's going to be done privately?
That's a great question. So this first meeting is just us presenting student concerns, but we have been discussing, we were in a meeting earlier today before this AGM, saying that we were talking about the ideas of having a town hall where they would come and attend, the people that we're meeting with tomorrow, and hear from the students. So that's going to be something that we bring up to them tomorrow at our meeting, where that you guys would be able to come to a town hall meeting and talk about this.
And the other thing sorry, through you, Chair, the other thing I'll add is feel free to reach out to the college yourself. If you email DC Cares, even though everyone thinks it goes into a black hole void, it does actually go to the right department fairly quickly, and they do listen to that and they do read that. So feel free to reach out to the college yourself too.
Okay, yeah, I emailed a bunch of people like the same email.
That's okay. I was gonna tell you copy and paste to DC Cares.
Oh yeah, that's what I've been trying to do, because like if nothing can be done, I'm gonna have to drop out, and I really don't want to, just because like I'm so close to the finish line, and I feel like so many students are affected by this.
Yeah, no, I completely, I understand and I hear you, and definitely the optimal goal is to not get anyone to have to drop out. That wouldn't be a good, you know, outcome. So we're gonna do what we can and connect with them and ask for a town hall, because like I mentioned, you are not the only one who's expressed concern. So we definitely wanna make sure that students feel heard, for sure.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Jenna, and to the rest of you guys as well.
I know you connected with Jenna. Did you keep a list of who you copied everything to?
Yeah, I have a list right here. Just a second.
Okay.
If you want, you can send me, if you want to send me a second email with the list of people you've reached out to, so I can keep it on file to know who you've connected with, and if they've answered, you can put
and we might have a few other suggestions too, Jenna.
Okay, I connected to JES at durhamcollege.ca, Joanne Spicer,
Mhm.
DCSA, and then CPDACC.
I don't recognize
I
the
don't
last-
know that last one, but
That last
I-
one is an LSO. I think that's like the actual law society.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Oh, yeah, it would be. So I'm going to actually suggest that you add Bonnie St. George and Tara
Bonnie.
Kosky to the email.
Okay, just a second. Bonnie.
And George?
here, you know what, Samantha, because
Yeah.
the spelling and everything, I'll reply
Yes,
to your
please.
email with those email addresses, okay?
Yeah.
I
Okay,
added,
thank you
I
so
actually
much.
copied and pasted Samantha's comment directly and added it to our like list of questions we're sending, but it's always more powerful from a student. So
Yeah.
I like, no problem, but we will be adding that anyway, to our list of questions to
Yeah.
them. And like, we're literally letting them read directly what students are saying.
Yeah.
And then,
Mhm.
Students who contact, they also listen to students who contact sometimes more.
No, yeah, please do so, and thank you so much for doing so. It's recording right now. This is Samantha Yalda. I give them the approval to give Durham College my concerns.
No
Perfect.
problem. Yeah, we saved it. When you had sent me the email, I had saved it right away and was gonna get back to you after this meeting today. So I'll
And
reply.
I will have it in the meeting records on the cloud too.
Mhm.
Nice, perfect. Thank you so much again.
Not a problem.
No problem.
Is there any other general discussion?
I would just encourage our few students, as we do when they vote online, who are here to just check out our online events and some of our other services, everything from your health plan to some of our online events to food support and counseling and any other kinds of support are very much active for you. So just check out our social media and our website to see the reason we do all these things that we're voting on and all the services. So please don't hesitate to get involved and reach out.
Mhm. I echo what Ferris says. We have services, and if we don't have a specific service or something like that that you directly need, we know where to point you in the right direction and who to connect you with to be able to move forward with whatever you're looking for. So always, look at us as your cheerleaders. We're here to help you guys anytime. We have our live chat feature available every day during the day. So connect with us. Also me, if you ever have anything that you just want to beeline right to me, my email is available for anyone to connect with. And yeah. I hope everyone has a great semester. I know we're having a rocky start, but academic wise, I hope you guys are enjoying your programs and having a good time. And hopefully this is soon over and we can have some in-person events not too far down the line when it's safer to do so. And we look forward to seeing everyone back on campus eventually. I'm not sure it'll be during my time as your chairperson, but I look forward to the one day.
We have something in the chat. Yeah. The other thing I'll also mention is the elections are coming up very soon. We haven't finalized the date yet because the automatic dates in the policy doesn't work with reading week. So the dates will be finalized next Wednesday at the board of directors meeting. So, I would encourage everyone to get involved. All the positions up for election. So that is all.
And we do have a chat here that just came in from Nick. So if not everyone can see, the pandemic has made things difficult for everyone. No current concerns, but would like to be a part of future meetings. So our board meetings happen once a month and they are live streamed. You can also, like Ferris mentioned, follow us on Instagram and our website. But yes, once a month, our board meetings are live streamed. People can add in chat, have a general discussion at the end of every meeting where they can bring things up. Also, again, my email, the DCSA info email, if ever there's a concern that comes up, you guys can send something off to us and we can address it there, or you can come attend our monthly meetings that our board of directors attends with the people who else are on this call.
There's a new chat. Oh, perfect. And that brings us to the recess in the meeting. If there's no.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. Okay, so recess. At this point, the AGM will be declared in recess until Secretary of the Board certifies and communicates the results to the chair after January 20th, 2022 at 4 p.m.
So those
right.
that will be done online. They will be on the website, and that would automatically be there.
Yeah, and we'll share that across our social media channels as well, those results.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, have a great evening. I don't know if you have assignments yet. I know I do, so get to those assignments. I have some deadlines before Friday. Looking forward. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you, Jenna and Charles, and everyone for hosting. Ferris.